Welcome back, legends. I hope you're all fantastic. We're going to check out Guitar Rig 7 today. It's been a hot minute since I have tried any version of Guitar Rig, and even though it's been a while, this feels pretty familiar to me. There are a bunch of new amp models and effects in 7 that I want to play through. I'm going to start with some presets, and then I will roll some of my own. So they've got a bunch of new amp models in here that use their AI-assisted modeling, and there are also new effects, many of which are pulled from some of the iZotope plugins like Trash and Ozone. Just as an aside, I've been using Ozone on pretty much everything I do since I got it, and I've been using RX for most of the life of my channel to do some noise reduction stuff, especially on my noisy voice in here, because there's a corner and there's an aircon in here, and hopefully you can all hear me nice and loud and clear. Nevertheless, if you fire this up, you've got kind of two main sections in here. You've got your preset section where you can search via various filters like input sources, characters, genres, artists, or this curated list in here. Then you've also got individual components. And again, one thing that I love about this is it's really easy to filter these by type. So if I wanted to check out different amplifiers, I can hit this and I've got my list of amps over here, or I can do delay and echo, filters, modulation, reverb, special effects. There are so many fun things to dive into here. To start, I've got my PRS DGT plugged into my Little Labs Red Eye DI. That's going to a UA Apollo, and then it is hitting the plugin. I'm not doing any post-processing on the plugin. Let's start with this tight and chunky preset using the new Screamer Deluxe into the new Superfast 100 and matching cabinet. Okay, so straight away, I like that they have all of the channels and switches modeled on this Superfast 100 here. You've got the overdrive channel, which sounds super thick and creamy, but then you've got the normal mode with the crunch and clean selection, as well as the ability to kick in the bright switch over here. The matching cabinet gives you a slider that basically takes you from 100% kind of mic tone through to blending in some room tone on there, which is nice if you don't want that super dry thing on there. Normally about a 70 to 30% mix. I found I've been liking on here. This solid EQ is just applying some post EQ. So before we go to any of the other presets and hear some of the new amp models, I just want to add a few things to this. So let's go to the components tab over here. The first thing that I want to do is I want to try this with one of my own cabinet IRs, which is free and available in the video description. So to do that, I will right click on the match cabinet, I will delete it, and then what I'm going to do is unselect this over here. And you can see here there's a cabinet IR loader. Let's just drag and drop that. I can open this folder here to access either some of the factory cabs by 3 Sigma Audio, Bogren Digital, Kolor Audio Cult, Lancaster Audio Cab IR, so some of the more popular and well-known IR producers, or I can try some of my own. Let's try this LTTV Mix 7 over here. I'm going to have to bring the level on this one up a little bit, and now I can hear this Superfast 100 amp model with my own IR. Okay, I'm going to roll with my own IR on here. Let's add some delay to this. We've got twin delay, a delay pulled from tractor, quad delay, tape echo. I'm guessing this is going to be a Memory Man style delay. Let's go with the twin delay. I can grab it here and I can either drag it or drop it into the rack, and you all know how much I love vintage rack gear. This just kind of makes me happy having this virtual rack, or I can actually pull it over here onto the signal chain. So let's put it post everything. I'm going to tap the tempo in, and then I'm going to hit this little sync button over here. Let's set up a quarter note and a dotted eighth note delay on here. I'll just bring the relative feedbacks down on these, and I'll leave the levels where they are and maybe just bring the mix down a little bit. Let's have a listen to some nice big dual delay. That's making me happy. Let's see if they have some stereo pitch detune in here. So I'll click off delay and echo. Let's go to modulation. We've got chorale, ensemble. We've got a flanger. There's phases in here, a rotary speaker. I'm going to guess stereo tune is some stereo pitch detune. So let's pop it on over here and just have a listen to it at the stock settings. I mean, really, what more do you want out of life? A Soldano model, some big twin delays, and some greasy stereo detune. I'm pretty happy already. Let's maybe just add some reverb onto this one. I'll go with the vintage verb, and again, I'll kind of place it here on the signal chain. I would call it a grid, but it's all going in one direction. I'll place it at the end of the chain. So with the vintage verb, you've got a choice between plates and springs, and there's several subtypes in there. So let's just go for gold short. I'm just going to bring the mix up maybe to around 20%. I'm sure a plate that says gold plate on it will sound good. Alrighty, so hopefully that gives you an idea of how you can take one of these curated presets and pretty easily tweak it and customize it to your own taste. Let's hear some other presets in here. I'll start with this Michael's Delight over here because it's using this new Reverb Delight amp model in here. We've got the VC76 compressor up front and the VC2A compressor down the back. You can see there's also a flanger, there's a pitch pedal. We've got this replica over here, RC48, which I'm guessing, that's probably going to be some kind of Lexicon-inspired delay over there. The replica delay is set up as a ping pong over here. So let's just start. I'm going to go to the neck pickup tapped on this DGT and have a listen to the amp tone. On here that this is loaded up with a flanger and chorus. You've got this H3000 preset in the pitch pedal EQ. There's a delay. There's this reverb on here. But it doesn't sound cartoonish, like everything is tastefully added. It kind of lives up to the name of being a curated preset. Let's try the chimey rock preset next. This is using the Vox model that is new in here. We've got some of this Memory Man as well, the IVP stomp. Again, they've just kind of put together some of the new elements in here. Let's maybe try both pickups together, but tapped. Something that definitely sets this apart are some of the effects which have been pulled from the other native instruments plugins, as well as some of the isotope effects. So stuff like this preset where you've got Traktor's Beat Slicer, you've got this flare effect in here, you've got the new tape wobble in there, you've got Replica, and you've got the Ozone Maximizer in here. They're very non-traditional guitar effects, but they can be super inspiring, and they definitely kind of lean on the weird end of things, which I find these kind of plugins normally lack. So I'm just going to see what I can come up with, and I'm going to hit this slice button. One thing I definitely did not expect to see in here is an HM2 model. This is the delightful chainsaw preset, and it's doing the HM2 fuzz thing that I really like. One thing I really have to say about the way Guitar Rig is laid out is if you weren't a guitar player or you were a beginner or you were new to using plugins as a guitar player, it is incredibly friendly and it has to be one of the best organized plugins that I've tried here. Being able to filter everything in here and being able to organize presets in various ways, I think is awesome. Being able to mix between kind of your typical studio style effects in here and classic guitar effects. You know, I'm not normally a massive fan of skeuomorphic IRs. There's that buzzword of the week, skeuomorphic IR, but on here, what I like is that they do prioritize some of the more important knobs on here. It's not everything the same size it would be as on an amp. And there are some delightfully weird and wacky presets in there. You also would have seen with some of those, you have the ability to split the chain and recombine it and really go full on when it comes to blending in some effects. So for me, I really like this super fast 100 in here on the crunch channel and this normal gain control pulled up a little bit. I like my own cab IR in here. I like being able to adjust the volume. In fact, you could use this as a cab IR blender. So what I will do is just throw a few more things on top of this. First, let's just have a listen to where the amp and cab are set. Well, the next thing I would normally do with any of these is add a little bit of room ambience. So let's bring up this RC24 and place it right at the end of the chain with just a little bit of mix on there. Let's have a listen. It's a pretty sweet hall style reverb on there. And then of course I want my dual delay on there for when I play solos. So I just pull the twin delay in here. And again, I will sync everything up. I'll just tap in the times there. I'll go quarter note, dotted eighth note. And like I did earlier, I'll just pull the feedbacks back a little bit on here and pull the mix back. We have this. We'll bypass that for now, and then I would just add some drives or distortions up front. So let's go to distortion over here. There is a new Seattle Fuzz. So if I wanted to do like a Doom style thing, just crank this in here. I'll play around with the harmonics and the volume. I could try something like the new color effect in here, which is going to bring in distortion sources that aren't going to be like typical guitar pedals. So we can try the trash smooth. This little bass saver control on there is great for keeping things tight as well. Let's crank the drive right up and hear it with some of that twin delay as well. I'm going to pull up stumps right there for today. Let me know your thoughts on the tones in this video and anything else you would like me to do with Guitar Rig in the future. This was actually a lot of fun. I didn't really know what to expect. Sometimes you kind of play these plugins that have been around for a long time and not much changes, like they change the skins and they make everything look snazzier, but it is really nice to see new amp models in here that not only sound different, they definitely feel a lot better under the hands. I'll be curious to see going forward if they add some kind of capture function to Guitar Rig. I think it would be pretty killer to have all this flexibility and general ease of use and organization paired with some of the new kind of AI-based capture solutions there. I know they're using some of that in the adjustable amp models, but if you look at stuff like iZotope's Ozone, there are so many AI-assisted tools in there that help you get better tones. I'll be really curious to see if that flows on even further into Guitar Rig, but we looked at most of the new effects in here today. You know, it's very, very straightforward once you get the hang of it. And I think the real strong points are the ease of use and the navigation in there. It puts a lot of other plugins to shame, and you can kind of see the fact that Native Instruments, you know, they're like a top player in the pro audio game, and guitar plugins are definitely going to be a smaller market than the market that goes for their pro audio plugins. You can kind of see that has rubbed off in the way they've approached this. It just feels incredibly slick. And it all works, which I like. It looks good, it sounds good. There's a bunch of straightforward presets in there to get you rolling. There's a bunch of totally wacky stuff in there. And I feel like it's relatively well balanced. It doesn't get too nerdy, it doesn't get too crazy, but it also doesn't insult advanced players by going, no, it's too hard to twist more than one knob. Like, you've got everything you need in here to kind of craft tones the way you would in a lot of other plugins. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thank you to the Native Instruments team for having me on for doing this one. If you want to support me directly, there's links in the video description. You can get my free IRs in the video description as well. And to everybody who continues to support my channel, a massive thank you. Have a great day, and I'll see you all next time.